Hey everybody, today we've got a hypothetical 2024 matchup between Joe Biden for the Democrats and Francis Suarez for the Republicans. This was requested after Francis Suarez won the GOP primary spinner battle, so now we got to put him up against the incumbent Biden to see how he does. So this is tough to do. I tried to look up a little bit about Suarez before I made the video. He considers himself to be a conservative Republican. On most of the issues, I think he would be viewed as more moderate. Some of the issues, I don't really know where he stands. We know all about Biden. We know a lot of this is going to come down to the economy and the national environment at the time, possibly the running mate, and whatever the big issues are at the time. But Suarez, he is a low-profile Republican. He is the mayor of a large population center. He's not as boring as some of the other GOP candidates, but I'm going to assume he does get his name recognition up. He does run a serious national campaign, but it is going to be difficult. It's pretty much going to come down to the usual handful of states, and I don't think this is really that exciting of a matchup. A lot of this is just pure guesswork, but let's get started in Alaska. That I think will be over 10, safe for Suarez. Hawaii, safe for Biden. Now we go back up to the West Coast. Washington, Oregon, California. Those are blue states. That's not going to change. They're going to be safe for Biden. Now we've got Nevada. It's a purple state. Suarez is not as controversial as Trump, but at the same time, he does not really excite the base. So it's quite possible he could compete in Clark County. It's really hard to say, but in the end, I settled on a tilt for Biden. Idaho, Utah, safe for Suarez. Down to Arizona. Suarez is probably a better fit here than Trump. The suburbs are going to find him more palatable. Even with the state drifting blue, I have it going back towards Suarez by a tilt margin. Montana, Wyoming, safe for Suarez. Colorado, probably still double digits. I'm going to have it as safe for Biden. New Mexico, this could get down to mid-single digits, but it's still a blue state. The safe choice here is likely for Biden. North and South Dakota, safe for Suarez. Nebraska at large, safe for Suarez. The 2nd District, Suarez is going to be a better fit here than Donald Trump. It's a little bit redder since redistricting, but Biden would be the incumbent. In a neutral environment, I think it might be still an uphill climb for Suarez, but it would be close. I have it as a tilt for Biden. Kansas and Oklahoma, safe for Suarez. Now we've got Texas. Usually this goes as likely for the Republican. It's not really going to change in this matchup. I think Suarez could win this easily by over 5. I don't think it would get up to 10 unless it was a big red wave. Suarez might do well in South Texas, or maybe those red trending counties are just all in for Trump, but Suarez would do a little bit better in the suburbs, so he's going to get this by a likely margin. Let's go up to Minnesota. Suarez probably better here again than Donald Trump. This I think is borderline lean likely, probably about 5.5 points, so I have it as likely for Biden. Iowa, probably mid-single digits, likely for Suarez. Missouri, Arkansas, Louisiana, safe for Suarez. Wisconsin, this is probably about 1 to 2 points. I have it as a lean for Biden. It's tough to say if the red Trump counties would stick with almost any Republican, or if they're only going to come out for Trump, and if any of the deep blue counties or the blue trending suburbs would be willing to come back to somebody like Suarez, or if they're just going to be all in for Biden. Hard to say. That's why I have it as a lean for Biden. Illinois, safe for Biden. Michigan, similar to Wisconsin, probably 1 to 2 points more toward the left, but it's really anyone's guess. I have it as a lean for Biden. Indiana, safe for Suarez. Kentucky, Tennessee, Mississippi, Alabama, safe for Suarez. Let's go to Florida. Suarez's home state. There's no question he's going to win it. He's going to do well in South Florida, and it should be a pretty comfortable win for Suarez. I have it as a likely margin. One state north to Georgia. Will the deep red Trump counties come out for neighboring Suarez? Probably not as much, but the suburbs will offset it. It's going to be highly competitive. Could go either way. I have it as a tilt for Suarez. South Carolina, safe for Suarez. North Carolina. This is another coin flip. I have it as a tilt for Suarez. Let's take a look at Ohio. This is a fairly red state at this point. Suarez is probably not going to excite these blue-collar Rust Belt voters, but I think he'd still win the state, probably by over 5, so it's going to be likely for Suarez. West Virginia, safe for Suarez. Up to the corner, Maine at large. That's going to be likely for Biden. 1st District, safe for Biden. 2nd District, leans for Suarez. Next state, New Hampshire. Suarez, going to be a little bit better fit here than Trump. I think he could maybe get it down to a 4 to 5 point lean margin. Vermont, New York, Massachusetts, Connecticut, Rhode Island, New Jersey, Delaware, Maryland, and Washington, D.C., safe for Biden. Pennsylvania is going to be leans for Biden, and the last state is Virginia. That's going to be likely for Biden. So the final total is 276 for Biden, 262 for Suarez, and this ended up kind of being a close matchup. But again, there's a lot of unknowns. It's hard to gauge where Suarez is going to stand in all the issues, how well he would do in the key Rust Belt states, but the main things would be what is the national environment and how much does the Trump base not turn out compared to the former Republican voters in the suburbs that would be willing to come back and vote for Suarez. That is completely anyone's guess. As I mentioned, we also have have the South Texas trends. Suarez possibly could do better with the Hispanic vote in some of the Southwest states, but at the same time, Trump did ignite some of those trends. They might not be as into Suarez. Suarez is going to do well in South Florida, but along the coasts, the Midwest, especially in the Rust Belt, I think it's likely he would do better in the suburbs, but the rest is kind of up in the air. Suarez seems mostly like a reduce spending, cut taxes type of Republican. He's a little bit more laxed on immigration. It's kind of hard to pinpoint Suarez. His profile is lower. I'm not super interested in researching him. Apparently he took some time warming up to Ron DeSantis, but I don't really know what his appeal is unless he goes for the Hispanic angle and unless he goes for the more moderate angle for the independent and suburban appeal while simultaneously trying to say he's a conservative Republican. Maybe that works. Maybe that does give him Georgia and Arizona. I just don't think he's really all that well known, so I had to do some guessing, but that's pretty much what happens on these hypotheticals. So maybe some of you know a lot more about Suarez, how he would do in some of these states. The comments are a great place for that, so you could go on and on about this, but this is the map that I settled on. So let me know in the comments, do you mostly agree with this map? Would Suarez actually be competitive? Would he attract younger voters and be viewed as a viable alternative to Joe Biden? Or would the base turnout be reduced, Biden's incumbency put him easily over the top in the Rust Belt? And how would Suarez address Donald Trump? Let me know down below. On your way out, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you on the next video.